Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here today. I am creating another shaped front card. This time it's a Christmas card with a wreath shape. I am creating this for the Cut It Up challenge where the theme is Celebrate. So I have chosen a wreath because that's sort of a fun symbol of Christmas celebrations with gold sequins and red sparkly berries. I'm using a wood paper to give it sort of a country look because most of my family and friends enjoy that look around the holiday season. So let's come back over here to this screen and let's get started. But first, I am making it for the Cut It Up challenge, and I don't want to forget to invite you to come and share your projects that include die cuts with us at Cut It Up. So again, the theme is Celebrate. So any celebration card or gift wrap, anything, tags, scrapbook page, anything about celebration. If you use a die cut, we'd love to see it. All right, let's continue on with this project. A lot of people think that these shaped card fronts are really difficult, but in actuality, they're really pretty simple. So let's take a look at what I used to start with. I have shapes, which is over here in your left-hand column here in Cricut Design Space. I'm using a wreath from Joys of the Season. Again, Cricut Access. My Merry Christmas sentiment die cut is actually close to my heart, Artiste. However, if you do not have that, I'm sure you can find several within the Cricut Access. I'm sure there are many, many there. This paper, digital paper that I've used, is from Victoria Designs Shabby Wood. My inside paper, pull that out and show you that. That is such a beautiful, warm piece of paper with that red, yummy wool flannel with the evergreen bough over here. That's from DeCossa's Dynamite Doodles. And if you play her 12 Months of Christmas, she gives away a Christmas paper every month to each person who submits 2 cards to her challenge. So if you're not already playing there, you automatically win that no matter what. So that's a really fun place to put your Christmas cards. The inside sentiment here is from Polkadoodles. All right, let's get started. I'm going to begin with the wreath because the wreath is what's going to make our shape. I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to offset it by clicking this offset, left clicking, and I want to bring it down to 0.069. Leave it on the circle, weld the offsets, that's fine, apply. I'm going to go ahead now and take it away. And you'll notice that it is a basic cut. Okay, so I can come down here to contour, click, and hide all contours. All right, so it's right here, that little button, hide all contours. Now what I want to do with this is going to actually be this piece right here, this card front. So I'm coming over to Shapes, which is over on the left-hand side here. I'm going to bring in a square. I'm just going to put it right up in the corner here. I know that my card is going to measure 5.5 by 11 because this is a 5.5-inch square card. So I'm going to type in here width 5.5. Hit my return key. I'm doing this on my keyboard. And now I know that this is 5.5 inches tall. So the square we have brought in, that is 5.5 inches, is going to join with our wreath and that is going to make our card base. So I know that my card base is going to extend to 11 inches. So all I need to do is set my wreath in so that it comes up to the 11. I'll bump this up a little bit so you can see that. So here's the 11-inch line right here. And you can see right here it bumps right to the 11-inch. Now, all I need to do is bring my square over to meet this, like so. So I've got my square up here to meet, and I've got this bumped up. Both of them are bumped up to the top of my screen. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to put it about right to there, I think. Okay, now, I don't want this gap right here. So I'm going to bring in one more shape. I'm going to bring in a square. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bump it up clear to the top so that it meets between these and covers up this gap right here. Because see, this is going to come clear to the top. This comes clear to the top. So I'm going to bring the square in, and that's going to cover that hole. Now I'm going to select all three shapes, and I'm going to combine them over here in this right-hand panel. Combine, weld. That is my card front. Now you're thinking, okay, but now this is more than 5.5. Yes, it is. And I can fix that very easily. I'm going to come in with a shape. I'm going to make it exactly again. I'm going to make the height 5.5. So 5.5. I'm typing this in at my keyboard. I'm going to extend it now to be longer than my shape is here. Okay? So I don't want to cut off any of this. So I want it to be longer. I'm going to select the two, and I'm going to say align. That's up here at the top. I'm going to left click with my mouse, align. I want to align the top. Now I can see this sticking out below. Slice. So now it's just going to slice off that little bit, and there it is. There's my card front. Let's turn this card front, this creamy color, and let's duplicate it. So I'm going to right click on my mouse. I'm going to left click duplicate. I'm going to take my card base away, stick this back up in the corner of my screen. I'm going to bring in another shape, a square. Again, I'm going with a 5.5. I'm going to go ahead, and it's all pushed up here in the corner. Let's say I didn't want to push it up in the corner. What I could do is go ahead and put these two shapes here, select them both. I can say align left and align top if I wanted to. Now they're both selected. Again, I'm going to slice. This creates the front of the card that I now will make a print then cut. So while I'm here, I'm going to show you something a little different. I figured out a different way to do print then cut here. Instead of coming in and uploading a paper, you can upload the paper as an image and manipulate it here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and go to upload. I'm going to go to view all, and here's the paper. I'm going to say add to canvas, view. What I did is I just imported the piece of paper as the rectangle. So let's go ahead and size this down a little bit further. And then what I did is I took this shape, bring to the front, And I can make this rectangle much smaller here. I'm going to come down here. I've selected them both. Slice. So there is my piece. Rather than going through the uploading it as a paper and then going through this way, I created my print and cut just by slicing it out of a piece of paper. So just a little something different for you in case you'd like to try that. Before we go any further, let's go back to our card base and let's put in our score line. Very simple. We come to Shapes, left click. The score line is in that first box. We move it to 5.5. We can come over here to X position. We make it 5.5. I'm going to hit my return. Then I'm going to come in and make it longer. I'm going to select the card and the score line and say attach. I'm going to send this to the back. Bring in everything else. There we go. Let's talk about this insert piece that's going to fit right underneath here. Again, very simple. Shapes, square. I'm going to just hand manipulate this one by dragging down. Bring it right down here. I'm going to go to basic cut. I'm going to print then cut. Click the square, click color, click pattern. I'm going to find that pattern. Comes in a perfect, beautiful square, so there's no editing to be done. I'm going to bring in a circle. Bring my circle down. I'm going to just hand drag that larger. Then I'm going to do an inset. So I'm going to click offset, but I'm going to drag to the left of that center line. I'm going to say apply. I'm going to change this black to our ivory color. I'm going to change my gray circle. Sometimes it's easier to pick it up over on the right side there. I'm going to change that to green. And let's pull in a sentiment. Rather than use this one again, I'll just type one in. So let's do a thinking of you. So we'll just type that in. Let's use a cursive font. And let's use BFC Inkly. That's pretty. Let's bring that in. I'm going to leave it in gray. That's kind of nice. Now I'm going to take everything, select it all, and I'm going to say align center. Now I'm going to pick just my sentiment, and with my arrow key, I'm going to bump it up. That gives me room to sign my name under here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead, select it all, and say flatten. Over here in my right-hand column, I'm going to click flatten. And now that is all ready to go underneath here. All right, let's head to the craft table. The assembly on this card is very simple. So let's head over there and put it together. We have arrived at the craft table, and this is really quite a simple put together here. We're going to start out here with the different pieces that we cut. These were print then cut pieces. We have the Merry Christmas die. We have an offset for that, which I did forget to show you over in Cricut Design Space. I am so sorry. All right, now here's my piece. I'm going to go ahead and ink around that piece, and I'm going to ink my wreath, and then I'm going to build up the wreath die and adhere that to the wood paper. I'm going to come in, I'm going to deepen up my score at 5.5 inches, and you can see there the piece that I've already finished. And I'll just go ahead and put that on with a little bit of score tape, as well as fabric tack over the top. Now, if you've not watched many of my videos, You may not know why I use the glue, the fabric tack, over the score tape. It's because the score tape really grabs. And on a piece like this, if I don't get it positioned exactly right, then I'm stuck. But if I put that fabric tack over, then I've got some wiggle room and I can move it around. Here on this piece, I'm just going to hold it in with the palm of my hand and just adhere it with my ATG. I'm going to come in with my Merry Christmas sentiment. You can see I've already added that red sparkly paper, which is Bazzill, and I've added that to my offset. I'm going to use a little bit of this Barely Art Precision Glue. I love this applicator. It's great for adding little gems and little script pieces. I didn't catch my gold sequins on film, but I just added some around the sentiment. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Any comments or questions, please leave them below. I know this was an intense Cricut Design Space video, so if there are questions, please leave them. I'm more than happy to help. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.